I want to do a test. So I'm going to throw this clothes up in the air, and I want you to count how many orange-ish objects you see. Orange or orangest. Are you ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. How many orange objects did you count? In that pile, there was 1, but if you counted my shirt, I will accept that. And if you counted my lipstick, I will accept that too. So I guess 3, unless there's something else in my background that I am not saying that you also counted. But anyways, during that time that I asked you to count an orange object, were you thinking of something else during that moment? And the chances are highly likely that you weren't, because I was asking you to focus on something very specific. And if you were engaged, you were looking for orange. Now, the reason I'm doing this is to prove to you that what we focus on, we will find. I'm going to show you in this video how you can reprogram that gorgeous little mind of yours to start cultivating a positive mindset and instead limit or reduce those negative thoughts so you can go and build a life you love. So a lot of times the problem is that we begin to live life on autopilot. And no one really teaches us to find the good within the bad or to transform anxiety into joy. Unless you're lucky enough to have parents or a caretaker who really understands how to naturally cultivate a positive mindset from the get-go. And it's okay that that's not the case. That's what I'm here for. Now I want you to think about this first key concept. You've been having negative thoughts. It's because you got really good at focusing on the negative things within your life. And this is partially because the neural pathways have been formed to operate in a way so that negative thoughts become more automatic. So you've already proved that you can do this. You just need to reshift those same processes that got you in negative mode to now turning into positive mode. And remember this word, put the music on, dance to it, say it out loud, because this will keep it in your mind, and that is repetition. Repetition. Thankfully, researchers have found that brains are made of neuroplasticity. In simplistic terms, that just means that your mind is moldable. It's flexible. Just because we are one way now does not mean we're doomed to stay this way forever. If where you are right now is not what you want to continue to be, you have the power. Because neurons can do new things by forging new, stronger connections with other neurons. Now, in a bit, I'm going to give you an exercise so you can put repetition into action. But essentially, what you want to do is retrain, rewire your brain to create those new neural pathways so that focusing on the positive, not fake positivity, but focusing on the positive things of your life become more automatic than focusing on the negative things in your life. And to take advantage of repetition and rewiring your program, you must Okay, so now that you know some of this information, you know you need repetition of new thoughts. How do we get there? So I want to share with you kind of a real life story with one of my clients. Let's just call her Tammy. So Tammy came in, she didn't really like how she was dating someone, and let's say she texts them, they didn't text her back. As soon as she texts, she would kind of just blow up and really end up regretting what she had texted that person. One of the things we worked on was reframing her negative thoughts. I will tell you, when I have my first session with clients, and I kind of let them know how therapy is going to go, and if it aligns with their goals, of course, I always ask for their permission to pause, and I'll ask if a certain sign is okay. So for example, with Tammy, I said, now tell me if you're sharing something with me in therapy and I see it as a negative pattern and an opportunity where we can kind of become aware of it, do I have permission to stop? And maybe, you know, I could do a sign like this, or I can do this, and I'll have Tammy choose, you know, which sign that she liked. And of course, if she gives me the permission, which she did. But one day she was telling me about a texting conversation she had had with someone she was dating. And she was telling me, just without even thinking about it, I text so-and-so about the date and he told me he was gonna have to reschedule. I texted him back and he didn't respond for a while. And I thought maybe, you know what, he's probably busy with his job. And I showed her the pause. In therapy, I think it's really important to kind of catch a person when they're in the midst of that negative self-talk or those negative thoughts, but it's just as important, I think, to congratulate them or to kind of bring the spotlight on their growth. Here she was sharing that it was a couple hours, he didn't respond, and she told me even what she thought, like, oh, I figured he was probably busy, when a few months ago, that thought would have been, oh, he's probably seen me, he probably thinks I'm too fat, he probably thinks this or that. And she was talking about this experience so comfortably. But what I'm trying to get to is that thought of, oh, he was probably busy, became the automatic thought. So now she was telling me with kind of like excitement about the scenario, and they had rescheduled their date, and she was okay with it, and she was feeling good about moving forward to, again, a few months back, somebody else she was dating, he didn't respond, and she blew up on him. So I'm going to share with you one of the assignments that Tammy did to get to this place. And of course, therapy helps, and there were a few other things that we did, but she enjoyed this one and I enjoyed this one too, so I'm going to share it. Now, it's 2 types of journaling, one in the morning, one right before bed or close to bed. In the morning, it's gratitude journaling, but it's a little different than what you see in standard YouTube videos where maybe you'll put 1, 2, 3 types of things you're grateful for, which is, of course, still good. But with this gratitude journaling, what you want to do is you want to immerse yourself in what you are grateful for. You want to elaborate on that gratitude. So for example, let's just say you begin gratitude journaling and your first item is, I am grateful for my home. Tell that journal, write in that journal, why are you grateful for that home? How does it make you feel? So if I'm writing, I'm grateful for my home, I'm gonna talk about what I love about my home. I love how it makes me feel safe. I love how I feel supported and secured, and just dig into it. Now, research has shown that you can even get these benefits within 5 to 20 minutes of journaling. So if you're new to it, start with 5 minutes. And if you want to just list one thing that you're grateful for and kind of dive in, immerse yourself into that thing that you are grateful for, do it. And the second type of journaling is positive effect journaling. I love this one. At night or sometime or a few minutes before you go to bed, what you want to do is spend 5 to 20 minutes just recapping the good things that went on in your day. So let's just say you had a good conversation with your daughter and you guys have been arguing. You would say, I had a good conversation with Betty. We laughed, we talked about her going to the theater, we talked about me buying a new purse, and we might even go to lunch tomorrow. One of the ways you can begin practicing to naturally shift to more automatic positive thoughts like Tammy and even myself is to put this in effect by journaling. Gratitude journaling in the morning, leaning into that very thing you're grateful for, and you could do positive effect journaling at night, talking about all the things that went well during the day. And both of these, you can start 5 minutes a day to 20 minutes a day. I hope this video helped. I hope it wasn't too confusing, and I'll see you in the next video.